So just a quick update for where I'm up to as far as the build on the plasma rifle is concerned. So really I'm getting very close to the assembling stage. So I'm working out where some of the internal mechanisms are going to be hidden away and how they operate. I've got a trigger mechanism that is actually working, but it needs a stronger spring in there at the moment. The one that I've got at the moment is fairly flimsy, so I'm not getting a lot of movement in that. That should actually come out further than it is there. Should come out to there. The idea being with that is that it technically should be a two-stage trigger. One for the plasma rifle section and one for the lower backup rifle. That needs a bit more tweaking, but it's getting there. That also will activate some internal components. There's actually going to be a laser diode attached to the front, so that when you push the trigger, it'll activate the laser at the front of it as well. I've got the magazine position sort of worked out now as well. It's going in there. I still have to work out the lock for it and then tidy up those edges a little bit. The rear end is coming along fairly nicely. It still needs a little bit of clean up, but most of those details are coming out fairly nicely now as well. And I've also got the top piece that I've started working on as well. That will need to have the back plate added to it, but at the moment I'm fairly happy with that. I've got the slide mechanism pretty much worked out for the lower rifle, which will be the cocking mechanism for that. It'll be spring loaded, probably push spring so that it pushes and returns. A little bit of tweaking to do as far as that's concerned. I still have to work out how the mounting mechanism is going to work with that. I'm thinking probably an L mount at the front where it will actually sort of clip up, slide in, and then this will actually lock it into place. So that'll be the unlock position, and that'll be the lock position, and then that will be a removable but fully mounted piece. Still got to work out those little port covers so that there's a little hinge mechanism on there so that they snap shut when they're not being held open. So this week and towards the end of the week I hope to be getting to the final assembly stage with it, so that I can then break it down next week for the final clean up, polish, and working out things like what am I going to do for the pistol grip, what bits are going to be black and what bits are going to be silver. At the moment I'm relatively happy with the breakup. I think the lower sections in this are going to maintain the black finish, and then the raised sections are going to be not necessarily polished but brushed back so that they're a bit more weathered and exposed. In the background I've been working on the resin components. The pieces that you see there is everything that I've got left to finish. The ones that are wrapped up in the glad wrap that you can see there are actually finished pieces. They're ready to actually be set aside for molds to be made from them. So we've got maybe a dozen or so pieces left that are finished. Some of them are larger sort of pieces and are going to take a little bit of time. But we're coming into the home stretch now as far as the resin pieces are concerned. So I have my disembodied friend sitting over here waiting to be finished as well. I've got his legs sitting down on a chair at the moment and his body sort of separated at the moment. The other thing that I've come to a realisation with is, as I actually get this guy finished, the height that I have in my roof here is not very high. So once I actually get to the point where he's being fully assembled, I may have to actually move him into the house or something like that so that I've got a higher space to work with in terms of getting the final assembly done. My thoughts would be that he would always be assembled in two parts, being the torso and arms section and the lower legs and pelvis section, and that he would come together in two pieces. So that's the update for this time, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.